It's actually easier than you think to become the top 3% of people that get job offers from big companies like JP Morgan and Big Four. Personally, I got 3 job offers before I finished my master's degree in the UK, and me and my team have helped hundreds of students to get many job offers from EY, BNP Paribas, RWE, Credit Suisse, and a lot more. I'm making this video for those of you guys who are currently studying and you're not entirely sure, but you know you definitely want to land a big corporate job at the end of your study. And the most important part is the timing. This is the most important part that probably is going to break or make your application 90% of the time. If you do it right, it's going to put you into the best positions so that you'll be able to outperform 97% of the people that are around you, your peers, your friends, and you will be the top 3% of people that manage to get what you want in your job application process. Nowadays, because the job application is so much more competitive, we're seeing hundreds of students coming to us asking for help. And when we are looking at their CV, we see there is a common trend, which means that a lot of these students only started thinking about job application or only started getting familiarized with the job application process towards the end of their studies. And so many students only have that urgency to focus on job application when they realize, oh well, I actually have to graduate and need a job right after I graduate. And this leads them to rush their application, send a crappy application, not entirely sure what they really want in their career, and this really hurts badly off your application and doesn't position you well compared to other students who started earlier. But I am still seeing 90% of the students are doing this because, first, they focus entirely on their academic performance. For example, I knew a lot of friends of mine who graduated from like Cambridge, from LSE, they study so well, they get first class, they get distinction, they become deanless, right? But they're not putting any effort in their job application. And I'm seeing when I was doing for competition, they're just getting research internship. They're just getting another summer place. They're just looking for another summer school, and they're trying to learn rather than trying to get some internship and experience to then enhance their CV, which will be the most beneficial thing to do for your job application rather than just doing another degree. And so many students are overly obsessed being a student because you feel like the only thing you need to do in university is to get a good grade. And this is my second point, which means that your academic success does not equate to your job application success. If you go to PwC website, if you go to JP Morgan website, none of these companies is going to ask you for a first class. But what they really want is for you to understand how the industry works, to have some degree of demonstration that you are committed to this industry, and ideally have some experience or internship before you even apply to any of them. I've seen a lot of students where they are top 10% academically, but they still get rejected in their application even in the first stage when they do the situational judgment test, where they cannot prioritize things, they don't really understand company culture, they're not entirely sure what values you need to bring to a company. Even though you're super smart and intellectually performing well, you're still gonna get rejected in your application process. Which also leads to the third reason is these 97% of people that failed in their application, they underestimated the importance of starting early. Starting early does not mean that you literally start sending your application early. There's a lot of other prep work you need to do before you even hand in your first application. And after working with hundreds of students, the most successful students that we have seen, they started their job application way earlier, even in their first year of university. Because if you don't start earlier, you're going to have this delusional optimism about how easy the job application is, which I notice a lot of students have that because you're so used to how universities works, how academics works. You're used to this mechanism where you put in some effort in studies and you get instant award based on the grade. Versus for job application, it's a lot of ups and downs. It's not always a linear progression, and you are going to face a lot of failure before you get even a yes. Leaving it to the last minute also means that you are going to lose out the opportunity to build up experience and knowledge that are needed for that specific industry. I want you to think of this analogy. Think of it as like building a house. You don't build a house, you can't expect to have the house built in half a year. You can't expect to have a completed house immediately ready to move in within 3 months. If you don't have any plan, no tools, no materials, no design, you're going to be scrambling, you're going to be panicking, you're going to be, building something that collapses next minute, and you will be stressed throughout the whole time. And this is exactly how job application is like. It's not about polishing the CV, polishing the cover letter last minute if you don't have anything at all to mention in your CV. You don't have any project, you don't have any certification, you don't have the right knowledge, you don't even know how to code, you don't even know what else is needed, you're not sure, you haven't really done any interviews, and you're trying to rush into the whole application process. At the end, it's going to be very stressful because also you don't have the clarity and the direction you need. And if you don't want to be the person that pulls all the string, put in all the hard work, and then only to watch your house to collapse at the end of the day, then do yourself a favor and start early as much as you can. That means if you are an undergraduate student in your first year, research into different career directions. Ideally, you need to know roughly what kind of industry you want to get into. Even better, if you know exactly what type of position you want to get into before you graduate, start doing that reflection and thinking and research, talking to people already. And if you're a master student, when you come abroad, UK, US, Australia, Canada, for your first year, immediately start your job application. Don't wait, because I will guarantee you, if you leave it to the last year to then apply, it's going to be so much harder and your success rate is going to be so much lower based on our experience. And just to show you guys what exactly you can do if you're an undergraduate student and you don't have anything under your belt, this is a screenshot of one of our students who managed to get 3 job offers. And she does not have a master's degree, and she managed to get 3 job offers from 3 biggest companies. You can see exactly she has done 4 internships already before her final year. And this helps her so much more with her application. When our team had a look at her CV, we already know the student is going to be highly successful in her application. Because if you start early, you're going to have so much clarity on which direction in the industry will be the best for you. And you even have the time to even try out some industry to finally decide if this is something exactly what you want. So for me, as example, I thought I really wanted to get into R&D research, which then I started prepping my application in my second year of undergrad and I got a placement with GSK, one of the top pharmaceutical companies. And then by doing the internship, that made me realize, actually, I don't want to be the person that stays in lab forever and doesn't have a chance to interact with other people, which then made me more interested in the business and the consulting side. And the worst thing you can do is to be stuck in a career for 3 years or 5 years, repetitively, day in, day out, do things that you don't really enjoy. Then, secondly, if you start earlier, that is going to allow you to have time to do internship, to get work experience, to do project, to do competition, to really get all the experience as industry knowledge under your belt, which are part of your assets. And these are the things that will make you more valuable in the final job application. Because your full-time job application is not a sprint, it is mini sprints within a marathon. Yet so many people got up in the idea that in order to become the best athlete and be the top 3% people that actually get a job offer, or those who got visa sponsorship, it is up to the final year of sprint. But when you see this house built nicely, it's not built in 3 months, it's not built in 6 months, it's actually years and years of design, material sourcing, and the polishing, and the construction, and the final QC that eventually led to this beautiful, beautiful house that's built. And you can't really expect for you to be able to do that in just 3 months. So if you're currently studying, you're not in the weed of job applications yet, good for you. The thing is, you should focus on job application in parallel to your study. You don't have to be the top 10% unless you want to go for a PhD. There's no point for you to become academically super smart. These skills are not necessarily valued in corporates. Focus on building the actual skills, being SQL, Python for data analyst role, financial modeling skills for investment banking, case interviewing skills, business awareness for consulting. These skills are going to make you so much more money, help you so much better, and give you the best chance in the job application process. If you enjoyed this video and you want to learn how to engineer your mind to get your job offers, then click this video below and I'll see you on the other side.